Hello and welcome all of you. This is Linguist Shibli from University of Summer and Cambridge Institute for Teaching English. In this short but exceptional lecture, we will talk about how to argue effectively. So let's get into the topic directly. Okay. Engaging in arguments in a second language can be difficult. Expressing ourselves and making strong points become challenging. This becomes more challenging when we experience heightened emotions like anger, frustration, or fear. To help you argue effectively in advanced English, we will discuss some key phrases to use in a debate. A debate is a structured argument with different sections. So we will provide the phrases for each section. Let's start. To effectively structure your argument in a debate, it's imperative to divide it into 6 different sections. These sections include the hook, the background, the thesis statement, the reasons and evidence, the counter arguments, and the conclusion. Follow this structure to ensure a powerful and persuasive argument that will have your audience convinced and impressed. Let's start with the hook. To capture your audience's attention and keep them engaged, it's important to have a strong hook. A hook is a compelling sentence that sparks interest in what are you about to say. The more captivating your hook, the more invested your audience will be. Here are some key phrases you can use to create a powerful hook. Have you ever DDD? Why DDD? It started with DDD. Many believe DDD. What would DDD? For example, why do you not need to be exceptional? Secondly, the background. The background provides a setting for your audience, helping them to understand the context and giving them a frame of reference to comprehend your upcoming arguments. Now, look at the key phrases you can use for your background. This quotation by blah blah blah. This question has been discussed by blah blah blah. Some historians argue that blah blah blah. In the year blah blah blah, many scientists purport blah blah blah. For example, this question has been discussed by some of the greatest minds of humanity. Thirdly, thesis statements. After capturing the audience's attention, it's time to establish the context and present your thesis statement. It is your main argument and the primary points you wish to make. It's the claim that you will be backing up and supporting throughout your presentation. Now look at some key phrases you can use for your thesis statement. Even though DDD, the evidence shows that DDD. I believe that DDD. I'm arguing that DDD. For example, I believe that we should actively seek out the underdog, even though people often overlook them. Fourthly, reasons and evidence. Okay, it's important to substantiate your claims with evidence when making an argument. This provides support for your argument and gives it credibility. Using statistics, graphs, charts, and facts can further strengthen your thesis. Okay, a good approach is to have at least 3 reasons or pieces of evidence to support your thesis. Even if you don't use all of them, Having them on hand will allow you to do your thesis confidently. Let's look at some key phrases you can use for your reasons and evidence. First of all, blah blah blah. This is also supported by blah blah blah. Another reason for blah blah blah. For example, this is also supported by research done by the Faculty of Basic Education of the University of Soma 2022, definitely by Shibli. Let's go for the counter arguments. Considering the other side of argument in a debate is important. This demonstrates that you have thoroughly researched and prepared and can address the opposing viewpoints. Additionally, you can effectively present your thesis with supporting evidence by understanding the opposing perspectives. This approach leads to productive and valuable discussions. Look at some key phrases you can use for the counter arguments. Yet some people argue that DDD. On the other hand, DDD. However, DDD. It's true that DDD, however, but DDD. Granted, DDD. For example, it's true that some children may not have the opportunity to tap into their creative genius due to their environment fully. However, it's important to remember that education has the power to make a significant difference. Finally, the conclusion. It's the anticipated end of your presentation where you can professionally wrap up your ideas. It's the perfect time to sum up your points, draw everything together, and leave a lasting impression on your audience. Okay, let's look at some key phrases you can use to create a powerful conclusion. Ultimately, in conclusion, finally, in the long run, in summary. For example, ultimately landing on Mars shows no boundaries to what we can accomplish in space. To show your support, please click like and leave a comment